Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Imanina Binti Azman and I study photography in UiTM Rendu. And today I'm going to tell you what I learned in my Sem 1 with Dr. Nas. Let's go. So basically for bracketing, you have to take a picture of exactly the same picture of your subject with a different level of exposure. As a result of your photo, you can get a much lessly bad picture of underexposed or overexposed photo. For example, like this. For panning, you have to use a slower shutter and then move the camera at the same speed as your subject. After that, you can get a picture of a moving subject sharp, and then the background will be blurred and smooth. For my example, like this. The common wisdom in depth of field is aperture. It is affect your picture, and it is also easy to understand when you taking a picture of depth of field. Here is simple rule. The larger your picture, the less focal in your photo. For example, like this subject. If you focus on the subject, the background will be blurred. But now you can be blurred because it focus on me. Here for my example, like this. Height shutter and lower shutter. Height shutter will be described as a freeze action, which is your picture or your subject will be a statue. For example, you photographing a bird and you need to use your shutter speed at 2000 seconds and the bird will be statue. For a slow shutter, it illuminates a darker scene and it brings more light into the lens. For example, you can set your shutter speed at 30 seconds to smooth out a moving water. White balance adjusts the white subjects to look more white in the final product. But you can making a good use of white balance. You can manipulate your tone in the picture. So, for example, like this. Warm color have a lower Kelvin and it appear as a orange, yellow, and red color. In contrast, cool color have a higher Kelvin and it appear as a blue or green color, and they eventually bring more feelings toward the photo, which is warm color bring a warm welcoming, while the cool color bring a more relaxing and refreshing photos. Soft light is a light that stands to wrap around the subject and projecting diffuse shadow and the soft edge, while hard shadow tends to be more focused and produce a harsher shadow, which is like this. Drawing with light is basically a drawing with a light, and you have to set your camera mode into a manual mode, and then you have to set your shutter speed on 30 seconds, while the ISO you have to keep it as low as possible, and the aperture you have to keep it as your style as you want, and then the result will be like this. Different ISO is basically a different level of ISO that you set in your photo. So the higher the ISO, the more light you let in your photo. So for example, like this. Artificial light is basically you use the electric light feature that you have in your house and your studio. So you can use anything that you have in your house to take a picture. For example, like this. Mixed light refer to two different light, which is natural light, the sun, and the artificial light, which is the light that you have in your homes. So you have to combine two lights to make a beautiful photo like this. Lastly, the composition. We have a lot of technique in composition, but in Sem 1, I learned 5 technique, which is line, shape, framing, pattern, and rule of third. If you combine all of them, it will be a good photo. But you have to use the golden pyramid, which is ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. And all of that will be like this. And that's all I learned in my Sem 1 with Dr. Nas. Thank you for watching. Bye.